Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That $40-ish and $100 range, and most of these are way less than that. And a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. The one I got today isn't a rack store find. It is a Maison Alhambra that I picked up on Amazon for like $22 or $23, November of 2024. And I'm talking about the new bottle, the new version of Jean Lowe's Matiere. The other one, it's the same bottle and everything. It's just, it doesn't have this black around it. It's like how the Maison Alhambra is right there, like the horses. That's how Jean Lowe Matiere. This is Maitre. The other one is Matiere. I don't know. I think they're trying to like stop from getting sued or something like that, because my immortal is like immortel and then there's immortal. So I don't know. They're just like doing slight different changes. Anyhow, let's go ahead and talk about Jean Lowe's Matiere. So about this fragrance, it was launched in 2022 and it is a Louis Vuitton Matiere Noir Cologne. So maybe that's why they're trying to change this thing up, because it's Maitre and Matiere, you know, it's just so close to what it is they're trying to replicate. The bottle, the name, everything, magnetic cap, gotta love that. So this fragrance, I've never smelled that particular Louis Vuitton. That's one of the few that I haven't smelled, so I can only judge this one as a standalone fragrance. And basically what this is, in the beginning, is it is a floral dominant fragrance. Soft, sweet, jasmine is one of the main notes that I get right up in the top. As it starts to morph, there's a little bit of a sweetness and a hint of some fresh spiciness right off the get. That nice, smooth, kind of indistinguished floral, like there's florals all over the place, and the jasmine is the one that kind of stands out a little bit more than the rest. About 5 to 10 minutes in, rich, fruity, sweet rose starts to come aboard this whole thing. And a little bit of oud starts to emerge. Little bits of oud, the fresh spiciness starts to amp up, and then about 15 minutes past that is when this thing really starts to blossom into what it's supposed to be. And it holds on to a lot of those florals. They become a little bit more noticeable, distinguished. The cyclamen, the jasmine, the rose, the delicate kind of cyclamen going on, and the patchouli is what really helps this fragrance out to me. Hints of oud, just little bits of some like kind of clean oud. It does kind of have a little bit of that, I say, electrical fire kind of smell in the slightest fashion. It's just a little bit, just a little tiny hint, like just enough for that electrical fire. I know that sounds like a really weird thing, but if you know oud, you know what I'm talking about. Burnt rubber, electrical, like it's very, very distinguished, very bold kind of a scent profile. But this is just a touch of it, helping to complement the patchouli, rose, fresh spiciness, little bits of sweetness. The patchouli adding a little bit of a mysterious dark thing to this. And when it dries down more and more and more and you get into the deep dry down, it starts to become a little bit more sparkly, like the fresh spiciness. It's basically not brighter, but there's more of a sparkle, patchouli, sweetness from the frankincense, and touches of the floral still kind of hang on there. So, about the performance on this thing overall, it far exceeded what I thought it was going to do, because it's not a loud fragrance. It is not a loud fragrance. It's not a room filler. You will get a decent sillage. From what I'm seeing, the sillage isn't too bad. It's a strong average. The projection, there's a difference between projection and sillage, just so you know. The projection is about an average scent bubble, but the trail seems like it kind of lingers farther as you're walking away, and overall the longevity hangs on for hours. Like my scent bubble, probably 5 hours. Easily. Just able to enjoy it without trying to. Probably 7 hours total is when I was stopped, when I couldn't really smell it so much. The first time I got this, the first time I wore it, sprayed it on my hand, like 3 or 4 hours later, I took a shower and it was still clearly pumping off of my hand. In fact, I sprayed some on my hand this morning, took a shower. It's like 12 hours later. I'm not saying this is like a 12-hour fragrance, but I can catch hints of it on there. So this thing just hangs out on your skin for like a long time for whatever reason. Doesn't project super hard, but it's average. It's at least average to strong average projection, sillage, and longevity is, I'm going to safely say 8+ hours, which was way more than I thought it would be. And this is the newer bottle. So there's that. If any of y'all have got this thing and it ain't performing well, I don't know what to tell you, because this was doing really good for me, which is awesome. I love that. So the occasions to wear this thing, it's a very leisure fragrance with a hint of class. It's not a youthful fragrance, but I think that floral, fresh, spicy thing would turn off a lot of the teenagers and stuff like that, because it's not real sweet. It has hints of sweetness, hints of a fruity thing. I think that's coming from some of the florals, because some florals can have a fruity nuance here and there. So I think that's happening because there's a touch of fruity sweetness coming from somewhere in this thing. And I think, honestly, the floral would probably scare a lot of teenagers away. It's unisex. I say it's probably 60 female, 40 male. Easily a male can get away with this thing. I test drove this thing before I purchased it, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. The oud also helps to play in a role, not necessarily making it more masculine, but making it a bit more bold and not so old lady-ish. So again, occasions to wear this is casual, semi-formal, but mostly casual, and year-round. I say year-round because it's strong enough for the cool weather and it's light and fresh enough that it's not going to be real offensive in the summer. There is a bit of richness and thickness to this, like white floral and stuff like that. Sometimes kind of be like powdery and thick, in my opinion. So it might be a little bit polarizing when it gets really hot, but I think this is a year-round fragrance. To be honest, it's not warm and cozy. It just will work, I think, in cooler weather. So overall rating on this, what will I give this? To be honest, I'm going to bump it up. I mean, I might as well bump this thing up a whole point because of the excellent longevity I'm getting on this thing. It's really, really performing above average, and it hasn't even macerated. I've only had this in a couple days, and it hasn't even matured yet. So I will give this thing an 8 out of 10. Now, be warned, if you're going to buy this, just based on my opinion, because you trust my judgment, it's a floral dominant fragrance. You have to like florals, because that's the main player in this. There's like 4 or 5 florals listed in this fragrance, and then there's frankincense, oud, and patchouli. I think that's it. Everything else is like florals in this. So, and that's accurate. That's what's going on here. It's very floral fragrance, but I think there's enough patchouli and stuff like that I get along with this fragrance really good. So it's an 8 out of 10 because it's a 7 just in scent profile, because I really dig the way that it smells. The performance far exceeds what I wanted it to. So I'm happy there. Super glad I picked this thing up. And yeah, so far, this Jean Lowe line is 2 for 2. I love this one, and I love Immortal. So that's my final thoughts on Jean Lowe Matiere. However you pronounce that, correct me if I'm wrong, which some of you probably will. So with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.